Alright, hey, this is Redditor today, and I was just thinking about, we had this guy, Beefstrats, and he said, how do you take the SLK and the TXT unit data from 129 and just stick it in your map, so when you use Melee latest patch, it uses that data? I was thinking about this idea, I was thinking about what he was asking here, and I was thinking, why don't I do an example of this, but to make it really clear whether I've changed the unit data. I was thinking I'm just going to go get the unit data from Project Revolution, so we'll replace in our map the standard units with the Starcraft unit. So you have all the characters from Starcraft. I didn't make Project Revolution, so obviously I'm not able to upload any of what I'm about to do, and I haven't looked at it in numerous years, but in theory, if it works, we'll replace all the standard units in our map with the units of Starcraft, which should become abundantly clear that our work is successful. So I'm just kind of gonna go at it. I definitely didn't practice this before this video, so we'll see if it works. But definitely want to get your handy dandy MPQ editor here, and we're gonna see if we can make a map where we replace all those units with StarCraft units. To that end, I also am gonna need Warcraft III World Editor open. So we're gonna open that. While that's opening, let's go get ourselves some Project Revolution. I better still have a backup of this. All right, let's see. Wrong folder, download. So we're gonna get MPQ editor. Where are you? MPQ editor right here. Cool. So we get an MPQ editor. Just so I don't damage anything, I'm gonna make a backup of Project Revolution. So I keep that in PRSC mod here. So we're gonna use Revolution MPQ. We're just gonna put that. That's not loud in my ears there. All right. We're gonna put Revolution MPQ in my Magtheridon drive. It's a good backup drive. Let's make a folder here called Standard Unit Change. Cool. All right. So here's Revolution MPQ. It's about 130 megabytes. Basically, it just makes Warcraft into Starcraft. So what that's gonna mean is when we open this MPQ up, they probably tried to block it so we can't open it. That doesn't matter for this video. I'll hand wave some of that. Let's see, standard unit change. Very good, standard unit change. Let's see what we got. What did they give us? They did not give us much. Alright, that's better, so what we're going to do is, we're going to use a different MPQ editor here. We're going to use WinMPQ, just from the old days, because I'm pretty good at that. Well, actually, maybe not necessary. We just got to get, some good list file going on, right? So, to that end, see if I can get downloads again. We're gonna use MPQ. All right, WinMPQ. Well, one of these MPQ software is gonna work. So basically, what we got to do here is we got to get. What we need to do, right, is we need to get War3X MPQ, basically, and we'll get one of these. We'll get our list file here, and we'll stick that in Project Revolution so we have access to all the unit data stuff. Yeah, that should be parenthesis. How do we sort by text here to find maybe the top of this list file? All right, good. So then we're going to put that in our standard unit change. So you wouldn't have to do this if you're using cast view to get the latest. Well, actually, no, you cast view on 129. If you're using MPQ editor on 129, right, you'll be able to just get the data that we're about to try to get here. But for me, I can't just get the data, so we're going to take an extra step. We're going to get our list file from War3X. We're going to get our list file from War3 Local. That's going to give us a list of files that we're going to take from Project Revolution so we can put those standard units in our map. So let's make 3X Local. Get that. Awesome. Now what I'm going to do is make merge list file, right? Which is just going to be a text file. Merge txt, we open that up. I'm going to open both of these. Copy that, put it in here. And copy this. That in here too. Awesome. So we got both of those. Let's go back to that. We got both of those. Now what we're going to do is open back to our folder, standard unit change. We just got to get some standard unit data, right? So something interesting here. We'll go to this, And let's make my merge txt. I think it's like saved now, right? Yeah, alright, we're gonna name that this file. Actually, it's probably a dumb idea. I'm not sure that's totally necessary. Let's just put that in here. Awesome. Reopen empty queue. What do you got? Cool. So now we have access to all of the unit data of Project Revolution, blah blah blah, and a bunch of other stuff. Basically, we're just going to sort by name here and choose anything in the units folder, and then we'll sort it out. So what this is going to be is just all the units of Starcraft as standard units for Warcraft 3, which I just picked this out from this ancient backup, right? Because I want to be able to get us something unique so it'll be abundantly clear. Because you wouldn't really know, like, patch 129 versus patch 130 unit data unless you're really, really careful. This is going to be abundantly, clearly different unit data. So we have all the ability func and we have the strings. You probably don't actually want to import the strings in your particular example. Because in a lot of cases, like, a lot of these strings are going to be not what you want. I'm not even sure they're what I want. So yeah, we'll just take the func. Func is gonna have the code. Strings would be language dependent, right? You might have different languages of Warcraft 3, so you wouldn't really want to replace those. But you're gonna want to replace. Let's make like import in map. So this is gonna be the things we're gonna import in the map. We're gonna want the ability data, right? We're gonna want all the things named func. Probably don't need destructible data, but we'll get all these funcs, these ability funcs, and item funcs. Item data? I doubt they changed the items in patch 129, but sure, let's assume we'll take the items. Get all the unit func for sure. Ability func, upgrade func, any of these that we think might have changed in a significant way. You might have more of these from patch 129 than I do when I'm pulling out of Starcraft, whatever, but yeah, this should probably just work. And like upgrade data. Cool. So we get all our data files. We put those and we say, alright, I want to import that into the map. Now, this is where we have this problem that we can save our map. We can make a new map here. And what am I going to call this? Let's see, documents, Warcraft 3, maps. We could call this like maps with custom standard units. Okay, or map with custom standard units. So we have this map. We're working on it. To be honest, like, I'm not really sure. I want to use Wex, the Wex editor, right? In order to do that, I gotta go out of my way really far. So what we're gonna do is change my registry to point to this Warcraft installation on the flash drive, which happens to be the correct version to align with Wex, hopefully. So let's check that. We'll go to the download here. We'll go to Starcraft World Editor Extended Bundle 131, which is not for patch 131, it's for patch 129. We're going to run World Editor Extended here, and it might hit the wrong installation. Yeah, it did. Alright, so for that, I guess we got to use their launcher, their Starcraft launcher, I believe, and modify Wex to not use this and instead use G: today, which is going to give us the ability to have a folder where we can run Starcraft. Alright, awesome. So we'll do that. We'll launch Wex Editor. Some of you hopefully should have this because you want to have advanced editing capabilities if you're going to mod Warcraft. Now I'm going to stare out the window and wait for this thing to load. Is this going to load? It did load. Well, fancy that. Alright. So we have Starcraft World Editor Extended Bundle here. And what we're going to do with that then is open our map called Custom Standard Units, whatever. Map with Custom Standard Units. Alright. We're going to open that. Save with the more recent version of the editor. We don't care. And we're going to do an external file importer thing. Which I believe the code for that is going to be a dummy trigger. This is going to build the import manager, so we don't have to waste our time. So I think it's like external file import. Or I think it's file importer. Then we put a path in there. So for our path, we're going to use the import and map folder right there, just like that. And that might work. Let's try it. Alright, custom triggers. We get some Jazz helper. Didn't work. On external call. Import directory. Really? Imported map doesn't exist. Okay. The reason for that is this thing you have to hit enter a whole bunch of times to make that work. Otherwise, it just died. I think we could enter. Yeah. Okay. So what that'll do now, if I close this map and I open it again, is it will build. It's the same as if you import through the import manager, right? But it's supposed to build the file path. Oh crap! I did it wrong. It's supposed to all be units, whatever, right? So if I just delete all these. Okay, we'll get rid of that. We'll do it again here, but first what we're going to do is go to our import and map folder, and we'll remember these need a special path that I was forgetting, right? They need to be in a folder named units. So we're going to put all of them in a folder named units. Do that. Okay, now let's save it and run it again. Am I sure this will work? Not exactly. I've never messed around with Project Revolution before, but we'll know if it does work, because all the units will become Starcraft units, hypothetically. Alright. Let's see. We open this back up, and we do appear to have a large bunch of imported files here. So now what we're going to do, we need the world editor to load those files. So let's switch this to Melee latest patch. And let us see as all of our units become StarCraft units that are all named unknown, 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 because I don't have any of the models and textures and icons and whatever that would be necessary to view these StarCraft units. But what's significant here is that these customized units, these things that we're seeing, could have been or might have been the custom things that you would be using if by chance you were loading your whatchamacallit, patch 129, right? So if I made custom data here, like this thing uses PR units, buildings, Terran bunker. So this, I don't know, is T00 because it's made from a Terran unit, right? T bar is the bunker. Or T, that's, never mind, that's the barracks. Really, its name's Tiny Barracks. Create the barracks. What a weird name for the building. I've never looked into this before. But, the point being, right, when we have these various units, like T-Bun, a custom bunker that I just made, this is clearly relative to Project Revolution unit data, right? And that's not, I mean, this is just a standard WEX editor. You could even open, let's do it. Let's open this map in the most recent patch 130 world editor here. I could show you that. So obviously I used a special editor to just import more quickly. But that's not really necessary for editing the map. So if I go back to my actual Warcraft 3 installation here, it's a standard patch 130 installation, we'll see that we will still observe the custom StarCraft units to be in our map because we've imported them through the file import thing. It's loading. We'll get in a second. Here we go. So we've still got our stuff on our map. As we notice, we're back to Warcraft 3 units. So in order to fix that, right, you just have to toggle this. The world editor is coded badly, right? So it's not going to load that correctly when you open your map. But once you refresh it, like I just did, right, then you get to where you can see all of these StarCraft units. Had I included the strings files, right? I didn't include all the strings files. If I did that, we would start to see the names of these. I suppose I could go ahead and do that right now, just for our entertainment value. But you would not want to do that if you're trying to get all of the necessary components for 129 data, right? You'd want to do just what I've done here, specifically because the 129 data is probably going to be fine to use the strings data from 130, right? Like a footman, if he's called footman, you don't really want to change that in your map. And it's to your benefit not to change it in case there's like somebody playing the map from another country where footman has a different name. But let's go ahead and import everything from Project Revolution to try to see if we can get that to work. I might need to hit enter a bunch again. Oh, that's right. So now I'm in the standard world editor, so I don't have an external import script. So we'll just exit the map and we'll reopen the one that has modified import capabilities here. We'll do that again, just kind of to see, slightly improve our examples. We'll have all the names and stuff from StarCraft for all the various StarCraft units. And it'll be abundantly clear then that we didn't break anything, that we've imported custom data for our character. Let's just load, we'll stare out the window a second here. Time for me to buy a new computer. That's what I'm seeing right here. Time for me to buy a new computer. Actually, it was time for me to buy a new computer a long time ago. Yeah, don't give up on me now, computer. Alright, map with custom, whatever. We'll open it again, we'll save it again, and then we will clearly see that it will replace all of our units like we want. As you can see, we're still seeing human units because you have to go in that menu and toggle the... Really? This folder doesn't exist. Oh yeah, I put C, not C, it's N. Okay, there we go, N. Yeah, there we go, I just gotta get that right. Okay. Cool, so we do that, now I can close my map, and I can open the map again, and we will see all the standard units replaced with Starcraft units. And you can do the same thing, like I said before, replace them all with patch 129 units. Would be very reasonable to do. And then going forward, your map will always be a delta relative to those 129 units, as long as you make sure the world editor doesn't ever break it. So this is where I think if this does work, I'm going to bring up a sort of important issue here. Let's do our toggle again, just to make sure that we get a reload, a refresh of the data. Right? We've only overridden melee data, so when we toggle a custom, it won't change anything, and then when we toggle a melee, it should fix it. Oh, I'm not right. Okay, toggle custom, it does change it. That's weird. Alright, well anyway, you want to have it on melee data. Cool, yeah, so now we have the names of stuff, right? You have the Marine, the Firebat, the Medic, the Ghost, whatever, Command Center, Nuclear Silo, right? And I can make a custom unit off of the Command Center, right? It defaults to like T01. And I can say, alright, let's make my Command Center, instead of training SCVs, let's make it train nothing. Now, this is really interesting, right? I have a custom Command Center. I'm going to call it Command Center with no SCV, right? So I do that. Now, this is where I'm a little bit concerned, because if I save this map again, and I guess I need to get rid of my importer script, but it doesn't really matter. We close the map, we open the map again, and this is going to be really important to you, because the question is, during the period of time that you're not using the custom data, so I'm gonna reload Warcraft 3's data here. We're gonna exit the Starcraft data. Reload that back up, and again, I'm using the Starcraft units to highlight the difference between your two different unit data files, right? But you're probably just going to be using 129 or 130, right? Whatever you're customizing your map to be. So now we're back in whatever latest patch unit data that you have. We're going to make sure the editor loads that latest patch unit data. We're going to go back to my custom map, and I want to know, does it forget that my modification of the command center is in fact modified? You'll sort of see what I mean here in a second, I think. And this will help you, because if it does forget, we're about to see the limitations of the world editor. I didn't test this at all before this video, but depending on those limitations. So, as you can see here, command center with no SCVs is a decrepit, broken data file right now because it hasn't loaded those Starcraft units, right? Suddenly, like, you know, it can't inherit from a command center. There is no command center, right? So when I toggle back to Starcraft, that's what I'm kind of wondering. And actually, it's a bad example, because suppose that we also have, like, icon game interface none. That's what I should have tested with. Yeah, and button position 0. Alright, let's try icon game interface none. So, we might check this again after we run it. Shoot. But we'll be there soon. I'm loading the custom data set again, and we will see, did it forget that my command center has no SCVs? Okay, it remembered that it doesn't train SCVs. But what if I tell it has no icon? So if I tell it has no icon, which I guess I need to do is shift enter. Oh, they don't even let you shift enter that. Well, that's not a good one. We need something with a button position. Okay, here we go. Firebat. I'm gonna make a custom Firebat, T02. And I'm gonna set his button position to 0. Right? When he becomes a decrepit nothing unit, this button position 0 won't be custom anymore. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what happens if the data changes, because this is going to be relevant to you if you're using 129 and 130. What happens when that data changes, and does the entry when using... So the decrepit example is representative of 130 data accidentally being loaded by the world editor when you're trying to override to make a map that only uses 129 data. So in my case, right, 129 data is Starcraft, because I'm trying to make it unique so we can tell. But that means our decrepit data is an example of what happens when, oops, the world editor loads the most recent Warcraft data. So we will then see, does it remember this modification here? I believe it does. I think our world editor software is pretty good. But we're just gonna see here. So we're gonna save and just refresh. We'll exit this map again. We'll reload Warcraft 3 units, and then we'll get back to the Starcraft units again after that, and we'll try to see what happens with that. What does it do with it? It's a better example because the decrepit unit clearly did not have a list of units trained, so it couldn't reset. Cool, so now we got our 2 decrepit units. As we said, T02 is the decrepit unit Firebat. And even though decrepit nothing units do have they inherit a button position 0 from their no unit parent, it does look like it's remembering that button position 0 is custom on our custom Firebat. So I believe that would mean that if I set this to melee latest patch, here, let's try one more. We're gonna refresh the editor here, which should be loading Starcraft data again. Awesome. Now we're back to where we have Starcraft unit data. Again, it knows this is a Firebat. And we're gonna change this Firebat to use the model of the Space Fellor. Specifically because here's our next portion of this test. I'm going to try to illustrate to you that this is not only in the editor, but that these units actually work in the game. I don't know where. Alright, here's our Firebat. So we're gonna go custom. We're gonna put some Firebat in here. Alright. We're gonna save this map with custom standard units, and then I'm gonna try testing it, and it should, if all goes well, actually have this unit named the Firebat. Now remember, it being named Firebat is not in the object editor data because it's a change set. So if that works, we know that we've correctly overridden the unit data. And if you do this with patch 129, you will have correctly overridden your map to be forced to always use patch 129 data. But the game's taking a second to start because it's not 130. They fixed some of the tests starting in 130, so you don't have to click it twice. On my computer, you gotta click it twice on 129. This is just how it rolls. I don't know if my screen capture software is going to be picking up 129 here very well, but just in case it doesn't, Alt-Enter is a fix, so now we can see it. Oh, I failed to achieve victory. But I did see the Firebats. Why did I not give myself a building? Alright, alright. Well, as you can see, this is a very unplanned... We're learning together, right? We're learning together here, so... I'm just gonna delete all the annoying stuff triggers. Now, we'll be able to see our Firebats. We'll be able to see if they are, in fact, named Firebat, even though, as I mentioned, when you look in the object editor, the name Firebat is not a custom name field. It is inheriting from the standard Firebat unit. It can also learn Stimpack. Will we have the Stimpack ability in game? I don't know. Will it work? I don't know. But we're gonna find out. Alright, here we go. Here are my Firebats. Oh yeah, you've got Stimpack. Requires Stimpack tech. There you go. Don't have any icons or anything though. Yeah, so I have effectively overridden the unit data with custom unit data, as you can see. And currently these guys don't do damage. Not really sure why that is the case. Sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is. I'll leave that one to the developers of Project Revolution, who quit working on their project 10 years ago, to solve. So I think at that point, I've accomplished my goal of overriding the standard Warcraft 3 units, in this case with the Starcraft units. Yeah, I hope you have a pretty good day. I wonder, do we have... What do we got? Excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, I actually have like, oh yeah, we got drone, hydralisk, archon. Yeah, you pretty much got all of Starcraft in here. Pretty good. Yeah, so that's how you override the standard units of the game. You just import a bunch of text files and FLK files, and if you import the string files, it brings in the names too. Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, I hope you've learned something today, and I'm probably gonna post a link to this video to help people out. So I hope you have a good one.